The following transcript is between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am, originally produced on April 5th, 2021, under the constellation of Aries, in the mental week, examining through the solar plexus. I am. I'm going to tell you a story that I'm sure you've heard, but you've never really heard. Me. What story? I am. The who story. Like all questions arising from Indo-European, the question who comes from cow, K-W-O, the object of an action, being modified in Latin from its form Q, Q-U-E, the one who, to its indeterminate declension, cum, Q-U-E-M, which, transforming the object of referring concretely to the subject of the action, me. The what is the objective aspect of K-W-O, while the who is the subjective aspect of K-W-O. I am. An object is something concrete, manifest, tangible, measurable, perceptible by the five senses. But a subject is the opposite. A subject is inconcrete, unmanifest, intangible, immeasurable, imperceptible by any of the five senses. Me. But I am a subject, and everyone can have notion of me with their senses. I am. No, they can have a sense of the sound that comes out of your words, of the forms that constitute your matter, of the chemicals that react in your being, of the photons that let you see your colors, the hormones that allow you to be smelled. But your same components are in a stone, a tree, an animal, and even in other planets and even stars. What constitutes a subject is subjective and is not related to what you perceive, but to what you believe. Me. Are you saying then that every subject is a belief? I am. That's right. When you die, your atoms continue to exist. But what made up your personality vanishes and only remains in the memory of those who live. This indicates that a subject is nothing more than the cerebral interpretation of data, both at the individual level about oneself, as well as the external interpretation. The who is nothing more than an imaginary idea arising from the interpretation of the what of the object. Me. Wow. I think that you just said, beyond seeming to be a simple linguistic and biological interpretation at the same time, is actually something too strong. Let me process it and understand it. I am. That's why I want to tell you whose story. Make yourself comfortable. Breathe, close your eyes, and remember with me. In the beginning, there was only the Mahas, the sleeping void. His dreams were three: Hem, inspiration; Het, contemplation; and Hum, exhalation. His breath became music, and by his singing, Mahas awoke. In his awakening, all that seemed to have been a dream became reality. But this reality was not what you know today, but was unity itself. All the forces of the universe coexisted in just one point, contained by nothingness itself. Its mere existence implied fullness, for its power was the only one in the great void. Its power was gentle, it was loving, the power of a mother caressing her creation. L-H, sounded this loving force that nurtures existence. Then the power emanated from the heart, which sounded the expansion through its beat, I. And it resounded, ILH, opening the doors to all its potentials. The door, it sounded, M, opening the portals of its heart, ILHIM, me. Who emanated this power? I am. The breath, the chant itself, the true word you call E, and the expression of the verb, the song and action you call L. Me. El, Elil, Eliam. I am the powers of the original word, Elohim. Elohim, Elohim. The powers are the inertial force of matter arising from the waves of vibration that spread through the universe by breathing, which, simulating a heartbeat, opened its heart to existence, waves behaving like particles, all born from Him, the original vibration. Me. In Atlantean language, Him means verb, that is to say, spoken truth in action, related to the consciousness that is put into something, the vibration that moves realities. Elha, E-L-H-A, means love, while Eloah, E-L-O-A-H, means the word that expands in love, word that in Hebrew describes divinity. Elhil, E-L-H-I-L, speaks of the loving verb that takes force to manifest itself, while Elohim, E-L-O-H-I-M, refers to the doors or realities through which that force manifests itself, something that is also called words of God or first messengers, which in Greek is said Arkhe, A-R-K-H-E, Angelos, A-N-G-G-E-L-O-S, equaling archangels. I am. A message is a sacred word, a wave of vibration that expands and that takes power by manifesting itself in the force of a particle. Thus was born the light of the word, Ur-El, me, Archangel Uriel. I am. There arose from the light the force of the word, Gaber-El, me, Archangel Gabriel. I am. The will of the word was born, Rek-El, me, Archangel Regel. I am. Emerging from his strength the sound of the word, Rim-El, me, Archangel Rimiel. I am. Finding the pattern in the death of the word, Arzel, me, Archangel Azrael. I am. Finding harmony in the healing of the word, Raphael, me, Archangel Raphael. I am. And from them thousands of other rays emerged, and above all, two of them form part of our important narrative. The light, the force, the will, the sound, the patterns, the harmony make up the aspects of the six-pointed star, the Merkaba, that you already know. me, love, wisdom, and will, vibration, energy, and matter, the 6 attributes of objective and subjective existence. I am. For the objective to become subjective, and the subjective to transform the objective, a force must unite them both. The force that gives meaning to reality, to the objective aspect that you call space, and to the subjective aspect that you call time. What is the key? Me, gravity. I am. Gravity unifies time and space at the center of the divine hexagon, the gravity of the word, Samael, who launches himself to unify everything, creating at last the known universe. The favorite of the Word, the one who made his dreams a reality. Me, Archangel Samael. I am. The universe began to contract all of the forces of the divine rays, desensifying everything towards the most concrete experience, manifesting the subjective toward the objective, the idea into action. He saw that he alone was capable of such a task, and he saw himself as unique and powerful in all creation. Then, manipulating the energies of his peers, he asked the question that changed everything. Mikhe, Mikah, I, me, who like me? I am. There was no one more powerful than he, than the union of time and space, forming an individual. It was the birth of the ego, of the self, of the individual who, shaped by the potentialities of the cosmos, chose to be unique before all else. But then another force arose as the polarity to the I, the force of the I am, who answered, Mika, Makah, El. Me, who, as the Word, Michael, the Archangel Michael. I am. Samael was considered the poison of the Word and called the opposition, the opposite, adversary, which in Hebrew was called Shaitan, Satan, the devil. The construction of the ego is the self-reference of the particle uniting the forces of time and space, while the construction of the self is the constant reminder that there is something much greater to which the ego belongs. The 6 attributes, messages of the Word, find their balance between the forces of the I and the I am, both asking who, and together they form the path to divinity, the greatest of messages, the one that forms the great cube of creation, the little word, the seed of the universe, the one that embodies all powers through time and space. That is the one, and all at once, the word that inhibits all, El Shed, or Shaddai. Me, wait a minute, Shaddai? It sounds like Jedi from Star Wars. I am. It is the term that unifies all the who's in the universe, the force. And the same is the source that all beings between the I and the I am aspire to find by uniting love, wisdom, will, vibration, energy, and matter. The Greeks call this who as he who is near the throne, Metaton Thronen. Me, Metatron, the cube of Metatron. I am the cube of creation, the divine hexahedron. It has no name, for it is the source, it is the Word, and it has no pronoun, for it is He. It is the manifested geometry itself, the waves made particles. It is the objective, me. And what is the subjective? I am. Who? All the stories you have heard of archangels, gods, creative beings speak nothing more than the inertial force of matter. They do nothing more than describe the potentials of existence. To understand history without the emotion of subjective belief is like the geologist who, instead of marveling at the landscape, can only see granite, mica, carbon. It is like the physician who, instead of seeing a person, sees organs and cellular tissues made of proteins and sugars. It is like the botanist who sees pistils, stigmas, and stamens, but fails to sense the perfume of the flower. It is like the engineer who designs a spaceship but never looks at the stars. It's like the religious person who reads a sacred book instead of listening to God in his heart, or a spiritual person who looks for the answers in other dimensions when the truth is found in every inspiration here and now. The universe is objective by nature. What makes it beautiful and exciting and alive, what gives meaning to things, what makes the object of the subject. Me, the question who. I am. Who is the agglomeration of objective network data, which makes up the surreal image of the real. The who is a construct of the ego, the one who refers to himself in a node of time and space, who combines all the forces in himself and becomes the creator of worlds, of realities. He who refers to himself, and not to speak of atoms, proteins, organs, tissues, chemical compounds, unifies them all in a single concept and gives the energy and movement in a sense of individuality, when in reality it does not have it. It thus conforms the idea of person, of individual, of being, of entity, and calls the particles archangels. The wave of space-time as God, the nodes of the constants as angels and demons, and the gravity of these nodes as individuals, living beings. And to the interaction of energies he calls soul, while to the frequency waves he calls spirits, and to the particles he calls body, and by uniting them he calls them I. Me, myself, the ego, who refers to the totality in order to subsist. I am. Ask yourself the question. Me, who am I? I am. You are only who you want to be, for you do not really exist until you decide to be who you are. Me, who created all this? I am no one, for the Creator is who you decide to be. Me, who should I be? I am whoever you design from the choices of your experience. Me, who is God? I am. It is the ability to ask who. Me, who am I? I am. I am.